Hello everybody, Yom Tov. It's Monday and here I am, and I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend considering, all the restrictions and everything that we're living under at the moment. And I don't know, it's day 22 I think, or day 23. So let's hope in 23 days time we'll be up and around and living the wildlife and, well, more than likely getting back to normal. And we've probably reached a stage at the moment where this is starting to feel like the new normal. I do know that some of us are going to be feeling claustrophobic and feeling that this has been going on too long. But you know what? All I can say to you is just keep on hanging in there, because there is an end in sight. This is not going to last forever. There's definitely an end in sight. I can feel it, I mean, it saddens me that there are still so many deaths. I mean, as much as I want to try and cheer everybody up and give you something to smile and laugh about, and I will think of something, life's all about balance, okay? We've lost another 700 and odd people today in the UK. I mean, that's the numbers that they're telling us anyway. And I think we've hit about 11,000 altogether so far. Those are the official figures. Now, no matter where you are in the world, my opinion, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, I actually do think that the figures are going to be a lot higher. But we'll probably not find out for another 50 years when all the government papers will have to be released. And because you can bet your bottom dollar they'll all be locked away where nobody can see them and nobody's going to be able to get the truth. So everybody's going to be surmising, is it this, is it that, is it the next thing? I saw something on Twitter that it was talking about one of the cemeteries in London. I think in a place called Chislehurst, probably just outside of central London. They were digging long, like 10 metre long by 2 metre wide graves for Muslims, and the coffins were just going to lie side by side in this great big long one grave. And I mean, it did cross my mind, are these numbers being factored in to the whole thing? But there's one thing I have learned in this crisis. There are certain things that YouTube will allow you to say and not say. That's one thing, because I found out what it was about the last but one live stream I had, where the first one only lasted about 4 minutes, because I was talking about 2 words that if all I said to you was, and please don't write these words in the comments, but if I said to you, what's Shane Dawson famous for? Don't think about Jeffrey and the makeup. Think about what he called his makeup. Well, you're not allowed to say that word. YouTube have bots where they can actually, they're tuned up to spot words like that. So you're not allowed to say that word, and you're not allowed to say anything that alludes to this crisis. Okay, so if anybody does and they're monetized, apparently they get demonetized. But according to the letter that, or the email that I got from YouTube explaining why my video had been taken down, they said that they had bots in place that had found out that certain words had been used in the live stream, not just by myself, but by others in the live stream. So I've had to say to people, please don't say any words that are linked to what Shane Dawson's famous for. And that's why I'm saying it now. So in the comments, please, if you could try and find your way round, and maybe if we just called it, the health crisis or something mild along those terms. I mean, health crisis, that's not mild, is it? I'm just trying to think of the right terms to say. So, see, the problem is, YouTube said to me that this was, in their terms, a friendly reminder. But the next time, if anything was said out of turn, say in particular in a live stream, then that live stream would be taken down and I would get a strike against my channel. So, for the sake of 2 or 3 words, guys, we'll have to be very, very careful, because we can't afford to lose the haven. Because I'm going to be dead honest with you here. You know me, this isn't about, money or anything like that. I'm not monetized, which is why you get me yakking away freely all the way through. So it's not, to me, it's not about losing money or anything like that, because that just does not enter into it. But it's about losing the haven. And it's about losing all of you. And yes, there's some of you that I could keep in touch with via the Facebook group that we have, but it wouldn't be the same. And once that channel's gone, I just don't want to think about it, because I've come to rely on the haven as much as many of you have come to rely on it being there. The views I get aren't great, but it doesn't matter. If it hits a certain few who need to hear a particular story or need to hear something stupid that I've said, because it might make them smile, it might make them giggle, they might think, oh, what a loony she is, but I don't mind listening to the old bag while I'm busy polishing the furniture in the background, that sort of thing. I'm like tolerable noise, I like to think. But like I say, we've got a certain hardcore few who are there every week for the spooky sessions, and we've got another hardcore few who are there for the true crime or the folk tales, and there's a few more who come and listen to me on a Monday. It's all about reaching the people who need it. And of course, my biggest thing is to just constantly remind all of you that you are no longer alone. Because the haven, we've come such a long way. And to anybody else, it might seem a relatively short space of time, just over a year. But to us, it's all about building up trust, like a foundation so that we can build up friendships and get to know each other and get to know each other better. So it's not just a stranger reaching out to hold another stranger's hand. A lot of you are familiar with each other now. It's, you know, occasionally someone new will comment, and that's wonderful. But there are the regulars who come all the time, and they see others that they're used to seeing every time a video goes up. So they know each other now, and they talk to each other, you know, hold each other's hands in times of need, that sort of thing. And, you know, the haven is there for anyone who feels they might not fit anywhere else. You know, they want to feel safe. They want to feel at home. They want to feel accepted. They don't want to feel alone anymore. They want to be able to talk about their mental health. They want to talk about their physical health. You know, they want to talk about their life experiences. And, you know, this is why the haven is so precious. Because all of us need it. I need it. You need it. And there are new people out there all the time who, you know, the haven's become very important to them, you know. And of course you've got your little title, you're all haveners. So you know that it's a sense of belonging, isn't it? I don't know, maybe I'm just rambling. I'm not rambling for the sake of rambling. I don't want to give out platitudes that just sound like platitudes. It's like I said to a girl yesterday that everything does happen for a reason. And when one door closes, another one opens. And they do sound like platitudes. But these are truths that I genuinely believe in. Because you've got to have a sense of balance all the time. You can't just have something hitting you out the blue and there not being a reason for it. Right? Even some of the worst things. When you think about, they'll say, look at some of the people being murdered, right? And people will say, well, what was the reason behind this? It census, there was no reason, but there always is a reason, because the person who perpetrated the crime had some kind of thought process going on. So to them, there was a reason. Do you see what I'm getting at? Even though it seems senseless, there's always a reason. So you've always got that level of balance. And I've generally found in life that when I've looked back on things and something's happened to me, at the time I've either been made very angry or I felt absolutely devastated, you know, shaken to my core with grief. And I've thought, but why? But there's always a reason. And it's how you react to it. Afterwards, you can fall down to your knees and break your heart. But you're not always going to stay there on your knees, because you know you've got to get up sometime. You've got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and literally start walking again. You've got to just face life head on. I don't know how else to put it, really. I remember when I lost my best friend, Suze. And I remember the day it was confirmed that she had cancer. And she rang me. And the first time the phone rang, I was in bed because it was early in the morning. And I was in bed and I'd had a bad night before, and I went to grab the phone and I heard a voice, and then I dropped the phone. Well, I had to scrabble around. The phone had gone under the pillow, and I had to scrabble around getting the phone, and then before it was a matter of seconds, but before I'd had the chance to phone her back, she was ringing me again, and it was, tell me I'm not going to die, please tell me I'm not going to die. I've got cancer, what am I going to do? And she was screaming. Anyway, 11 months later, she was gone. And now I was numb. Absolutely numb. I mean, I couldn't go to her funeral. She lived a good 450 miles away. There's no way I would have made the funeral. No way. But I sent flowers. And I sent her a wreath in the shape of a sapphire ring. Because this ring here, this one right here, if you can see it, this one, was one of the first ones that I bought from her, because that's how we met, through our love of jewellery. And I got them to spray, I think it was dahlias or something, spray them gold, and then get some blue flowers. I can't remember for the life of me what they were, but they were like a violet kind of blue, and put them right at the top so it looked like a sapphire ring. And I sent them down, and I think it must have been about 7 or 8 months later. In fact, no, I tell a lie, it must have been oh God, it was a year later. And I remember going to bed, and I remember going to sleep. And then I can't remember whether I was dreaming about her and I could see her, but I could definitely feel her. And I woke up screaming. My husband said that all I kept saying was, Susie's dead, Susie's dead, just over and over and over, and sobbing my guts out. And I've never felt grief like that. I mean, I've grieved for things before, but I've never felt that level of grief. But I just, mentally and emotionally fell to my knees. You know how you do? And had a really good cry. Talked about her. And then over the weeks I was still crying, but it started to get easier. But this September it'll be 5 years since she went. And I do know she promised me that when it was my time, she'd be there to come and get me. So that'll be fun. I'm looking fun to, there's the words again. I am so looking forward to raising Cain with her. wherever she is. I mean, she'll be up there singing Stranger in Paradise. And stuff from the Phantom of the Opera. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be really good fun. Anyway, I think there was something. So, oh yes, I knew what I was going to tell you. I am an absolute prize idiot. I lost part of a Pandora charm down my toilet last night. I'd, gone for a wee. Well, I was sorting myself out and what have you. And as I went to take a damp cloth to sort myself out, I mean, it's too much information, I know, but there is a point to this. I accidentally knocked my Pandora bracelet, and inside this little hole here, there was a spinning gold heart. And I didn't notice it at the time. And, you go to flush and then you think, is that a diamond down there? Now, I've got to tell you, I have got a thing about pristine toilets, right? I mean, I go through a bottle of bleach for each of the toilets, and I'm talking about great big bottles of bleach, thick, the thick stuff, not the thin bleach. I'm talking about the thick, heavy duty bleach. And I go through one of those great big bottles a week because I'm paranoid about clean toilets. Anyway, to cut long story short, I had to get a rubber glove and a spoon, which has now been thrown away, and fished out part of this charm, which I then had to, I know it was gold, but I had to wash it in bleach and then buff it up and put it away in my jewellery box. Do you know something? If I was handed brain cells, I think I would possibly be dangerous. It's it is just I just do the craziest stuff, and they're like mishaps, for want of a better word. That's what they are. Do you know there was something else? Oh yes, I knew what it was I meant to tell you. I think I've finally made it in the realm of YouTube. When I had my last but one live stream, we got our first troll, and it was someone who came into the live stream and was particularly filthy, and it was one of these scrabbling times where I had to quickly put a couple of mods in, and our Fedora and Steph jumped in and helped me to get rid of this fool, this dirty mouth fool. Well, I think it was the week before last, I'd done, I don't know whether it was folk tales I'd done, and then I talked about Harry and Meghan and how they were self-entitled. It's that video. And I realised I'd made it on YouTube when I got my first personal, really personal hate comment. It wasn't, you know how you sometimes get these hate comments and it's take this video down and you don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't one of those. It was this lady, shall we say, who told me that, I mean, I've actually got, that. I mean, I can't edit and put stuff in to the screen, like to show you. But basically she said that I was dangerous because I was giving you all misinformation, and it was people like me who had driven Harry and Meghan out of the country because I fake loved him and fake wanted to keep him in the UK. And I had to be very careful because I'm very rude. Considering that I am too obese to have a YouTube channel, that smoking is incredibly rude and I shouldn't do it because I should be more mindful, that I should be more respectful to my audience. I should stop talking about things that I know nothing about, loosen weight, and stop, being dangerous and disgusting. And then the kicker at the end was, Happy Easter. I mean, oh my God, that really hurt. Yeah, right. So my answer to that is, I'm not a beast. I'm Heather. Fancy calling me a beast? And I mean, yeah, technically it's my channel, but it's our channel, right? You know that you guys lead me and you tell me what you want. But I'm sitting in my house, in my kitchen, as you can see, kitchen, taps behind me, all that sort of thing, you can see that. At my kitchen table, which you can hear. And these are my cigarettes, which I bought and paid for. Can't show you the packet because that's advertising. But no, I've got cigarettes, plenty. And although yes, I agree, I shouldn't smoke. I've got mild COPD. But there are times where I need a cigarette. And the lady, who I won't name, but if you're watching, love, and that's what I have to say to you. I know I'm a big girl. I'm not blind. I've actually lost 4.5 stone in the last 10 years. How that's happened, I don't know, because my disability makes me not totally immobile, but I can't raise my arms, I can't go swimming anymore. The perfect sport for me to take part in would be swimming, but I like to go for an hour to a 2 hour swim, and I've got lymphedema, so I can't be in and out the water and muck up my legs and stuff like that. Plus I can't lift my shoulders up because my shoulder joints are all arthritic, so I can't lift them round, so I can't do the crawl or the butterfly or You know, I could lie on my back, and that's about it, but I'd need somebody to help me in and out of the pool because I can't walk. So I can't exercise. And I mean, there's lots of, I mean, I don't sit still all day. I did nearly an hour's worth of ironing before I started doing this. So I'm not just sitting here all day staring at a wall. I do stuff. But I just, do you know what, guys? I just thought, I finally landed. I finally made my mark when I got, I mean, I've had not very pleasant messages and that before, but that's been about the content. This time it was a personal attack on me and how I looked. And, you know, but to say all those nasty things and then to wish me a happy Easter, it beyond belief, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm going to finish off here. I'm going to actually be making another video after this one, because that's going to be directed at the people who watch the spooky sessions. Spooky sessions as well, because I need to explain to them how the story that's very like supernatural, because the author asked me not to say it was like supernatural, but the parts that I'm going to be starting reading soon, they are like supernatural. He doesn't like it when I say they're influenced by, but there's a lot of similarities there, right? That part of the story I'm going to be coming up to soon. I think maybe some have stopped watching because I haven't got to the real supernatural start part yet, because Cithero said I had to read it in chronological order. But if I did that, then I'm going to be all over the place. So I'm going to make a short video to explain that to the folk who watch on Friday nights, so it might get some of them to come back and start watching that. Plus it explains everything to everybody who does come on a Friday night, so they know what's going on. This week you've got your true crime video. If there's someone that you really want me to cover, then I'll do that. I just wanted to make a caveat. I'm looking for stories that nobody really talks about anymore. I mean, the Yorkshire Ripper. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I could talk about the Yorkshire Ripper. But Jack the Ripper's been done to death. But I can still do it if you want me to. I've said I'll talk about Chris Watts, but I'm still not ready to talk about him yet. Because it's, I don't know how I would get through that without crying. But I'm looking for crimes, and they're not necessarily all have to be murders. But, you know, I want to find stuff that has happened and the reason why and stuff, but it's sort of like gone under the radar, if that makes sense. But if you have any requests for anybody that you want me to look into, if you could let me know today, or, you know, definitely, you know, before Wednesday, and then I can do my research then. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and come up with some of the ones that I've been managing to find so far. Okay? And I think that's it, really. Oh, what do you think of the nails today? I think I'm sort of like colour coordinated. What do you think? Yeah? I don't know. I think so. I just wanted to try and sort of look blue and a bit of teal and stuff like that going on. So anyway, I hope you like today's look, and I hope I've tried to say something that has helped you a bit, might have made you smile, might have made you thought, ugh, too much information, or what. But I'm going to end with this. We know we're going to get through this, right? And once we get through this, I think it would be good to talk about some of the stuff that we've been doing to entertain ourselves while we've had this lockdown. You know, I've totally turned around some of the paranormal shows I watch. I've found a whole new host of paranormal shows because I've gone right off Ghost Adventures. But I've found some other great spooky shows that I absolutely love. So I'll give you one. If you want to look up something called the Holzer Files, it's HOLZER. Basically about a guy called Hans Holzer, who has been labelled the America's first ghost hunter, and his daughter Alexandra is helping these guys carry on his work that he started 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And they're reopening all his old cases and revisiting them, reinvestigating them. And I'm finding it absolutely fascinating. So I've been busy watching them. And I've also been playing with my Sims. And I've been doing a lot of interior design and working on some new builds and playing with some families and making them have lots of woohoo so we can have babies. So, in books, lots of reading. It's amazing how fast the days are going by. So which is why I keep saying to you, this is going to be over sooner than you think. You might be thinking, oh my God, when is this going to end? But if you never believe another word I say, I'm telling you, I can feel it. I really can feel it. You know? So, anyway, that's what I wanted to say to you today, guys. It's not that I've run out of anything to say. I could sit here and yap to you for hours because, like I said to you before, I just feel so comfortable just sitting talking to you all. And it's like I've got a chair there and I've got a chair there, and it's like I've sort of mentally got you all sort of like crowded around me, so to speak, and it's nice. It's a nice comfy feeling, you know. So anyway, until next time, as we say, I do love you. I really do. And I do worry about you. And I do care. And I want you to please look after yourselves. And take good care of yourselves. And whatever you do, stay safe. Right? Do your social distancing. If you've got to go out anywhere, just get in, get out. As soon as you get home, wash your hands, have a shower, whatever makes you feel safe. Do all those things. And then try and find something to entertain yourselves or catch up on all those jobs that you've always been meaning to do, if you're in the mood for it. I've been listening to some rock music today, and oh boy, did I want to get up and dance around. I've been listening to Judas Priest, and I've been listening to Rainbow, and AC/DC, and Pink Floyd. Oh my goodness me. The Kinks, Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Twisted Sister. I've said Judas Priest, haven't I? Well, if I haven't, then I have said it now twice. You see? It's literally, and it goes everywhere. Right. Bye-bye for now, guys, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye for now.